I'm Lynn Fluke, and I'm going to talk to you today and do some demonstrations on bandaging, the different types of bandages you can apply to your horse and what you would use them for. So first we have the polo bandage, which is just for use when riding your horse or lunging. This bandage doesn't provide any support for the leg, it's just protection from the horse's other limbs if they were to interfere. Then you have the stable bandage, which again does not provide any support for the limb, but it is used for horses to prevent or reduce swelling in legs. You use this if you've just cold hosed your horse, if he's got a bowed tendon or something like that, some sort of injury where you want to prevent swelling, or if you needed to wrap over a wound bandage on a lower leg. Then you have the stack bandage, which is used in conjunction with a stable bandage or standing bandage. This allows you to secure or wrap over a wound bandage above the horse's knee. The polo bandage covers from below the hock or knee joint to the fetlock joint, covers to the ergot. A stable bandage or standing wrap covers from below the horse's knee to below cupping or at their horse's fetlock. There's two different ways to do it. Then you have the stack wrap, which again covers from the stable bandage, which goes below the fetlock to the narrowest part of the pastern is where you want your base to start, and then you place your stack bandage up on top, resting on top of your stable bandage so it has support. And this covers as high up as you need to go. Our different types of bandaging materials for a stable bandage and a stack wrap are pillow wraps. You can also have a no-bow or roll cotton. These also make good padding, but you want your padding to be nice and squishy, fluffy, not too thin, and you want, if you have a pillow wrap, the more stitching you have, the better, just because it holds the padding in place so it doesn't form lumps, bumps, and wrinkles. Then to wrap over your pillow or no-bow or roll cotton to secure it, you have your bandages. So the types of bandages we have are knit bandages. These are a little stretchy, and they also stretch the other way too. This is what I prefer and what I've used in my wraps. We also have a track bandage, which is a wider bandage than the knit, and it still has some elasticity. Then we have flannels, and flannels don't have that stretch. Some people like them, other people really don't. So it's all personal preference on what bandage you use, as long as it's applied safely and correctly. You also have your polo bandage, just for applying polos. You never want to wrap a polo over a pillow wrap for a stable bandage or anything like that. That is not something to do, as you can't get it the right tightness and it's really thick. So you have your polo, which is a fleecy material. So when you apply your bandages, it's really important that you stay safe. You need to be aware of where the horse's legs are and never put your both knees on the ground at once or even sit, as you can't get up quickly enough if the horse were to move or have a problem. You could put one knee on the ground if you're very careful to be able to stay on your toe and get up quickly, but otherwise it's best if you can just squat while you apply the bandage. If you don't know how your horse is going to react, or if he's a little upset about being bandaged, it's best to have a holder, but if he's completely fine with it and he's good in the cross ties, you can also cross tie them as you apply your bandages as well. It's important when you apply your bandages that you maintain that equal pressure throughout the whole bandage, and that you don't pull too tight in one spot as it could cord the leg. That means that it cuts off circulation and could cause damage, permanent damage to the tendons and the horse's legs. To check your stable bandage or standing wrap for correct application, you can flick and listen to the different sounds. It had the same pitch with each flick. That implies that there's equal pressure. You can also feel it for any lumps or bumps. As I was applying it, I was checking for wrinkles, making sure everything's smooth so it couldn't cause any damage to him. You can also try to push it down. This one doesn't move down at all. It's good tightness. I can fit a finger or even two in the top and in the bottom to make sure that it's not too tight and potentially cording him or cutting off circulation. You can also try to twist it and it doesn't twist. You can also finish your stable bandage or any bandage by taking masking tape around over the Velcro to make sure it's secure, or using bandage pins. So for my stack wrap, I used my original standing wrap as a base of support, and then I applied another pillow wrap over the top, sitting on top of the original standing wrap. And then I started another knit wrap over to go down and cover the original Velcro. Then I put a third one on top to cover the rest of the bandage. I made sure to maintain even pressure throughout. Can't push it down, can't turn it, but can still get a finger in for circulation. If I were to actually apply this, if he had a wound or injury that needed the stack wrap, I would have applied my stable bandage so that it was further down. This means that I would have wrapped to above the heels where it's narrower at the pastern. This means that the bandage has more support underneath it. If it's narrow, it can't slide down anymore. The way it is right now, it could just slide down eventually, but if I wrapped lower, it could be a better support. Now to finish this polo, since my Velcro was to the inside of the leg and could rub on the other leg, I would put masking tape around to attach the Velcro to the wrap to keep it more secure. When checking your polo, you test it like the other wraps. You can try to twist it and push it down. You want to make sure it's equal pressure throughout the whole wrap. This bandage does not support the horse's leg or tendons in any way. It just protects it from interference from the other leg. So another reason to bandage is if your horse has a wound that needs to be covered and treated. When you're applying a wound bandage, you apply a Novosan ointment or triple antibiotic ointment, whatever ointment your vet recommends for your situation, and you apply a non-stick Telfa pad with the non-stick side to the wound. This prevents any problems when removing the Telfa pad. If you just use plain gauze or cotton, sometimes that gets stuck in the wound and reopens it when you remove it. So you want to use a non-stick Telfa pad. You secure that by wrapping cling gauze over the top, and then you secure that with a stable bandage. If the vet is applying a wound bandage, he might use vet wrap, and if he knows what he's doing, so that's okay. But you don't want to just use vet wrap as it's too elastic and you can get it too tight. When applying your bandages, you want to check them at least every 12 hours. You don't want to leave it on longer than that, and you want to check it more frequently in case the horse were to have chewed on it or if it's come loose. A wound bandage, you need to check as well. But if the horse has stitches or something, the vet might instruct you to leave the bandage on longer. So it's important to follow the vet's instructions when applying a wound bandage.